Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top cryptos as we head into the weekend for April 19th, 2025. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. One quick clarification, I will be using the 4-hour time frame. So for those of you that are maybe new to charts, what that means is each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 4 hours worth of time. And that's because cryptos are open 24/7, and I want this video to last for as long as possible. So by using a longer time frame and then talking about some overall levels, that will hopefully keep all these analyses relevant over the entire weekend. But you never know, it is crypto, so maybe one massive news comes out and everything I talk about here kind of goes out the window. But like I said, I'll try to just look at it from more of a broader framework and keep this analysis relevant all weekend long, like I said. So first one we are looking at here is Bitcoin. So as always, got to start with the granddaddy of them all, Bitcoin. And right now, not a whole lot going on over the past few days. Now, I don't say that in a negative sense. I just say it in the sense of just doing a whole lot of consolidation. It was down here and it's made a big move up and has looked quite powerful at this point. But with that said, while looking powerful, now all of a sudden it's all right, consolidating out a little bit, which doesn't mean anything bad per se. So let's just map out a couple of key levels here, and the first level just being this overarching trend line right there, which you can see. I think a lot of people have probably drawn something relatively similar to that, and I make that comment about a lot of people doing that because when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same thing, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want, it can produce some very dynamic movements, and that's what I think we would have like that, or within that line there. So while there are no guarantees, is it valid, is it plausible that if the price were to come up here and push up through there, that break right there in of itself could create additional buying pressure? In my opinion, that is a plausible scenario. So keep an eye on that as an area of resistance. Now, if you're watching this video, a couple days from now, and you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is above that level. Fair enough. Next question to ask yourself would be, all right, well, where's the price relative to this area up here at the 88,475 mark? Now, if you're answering the question that the price is up above 88,475 whenever you're watching this, like I said, if it's a couple days from now, well, that would just be telling you that Bitcoin is having itself a very, very impressive weekend. So, but if the price is still down below that level, the next immediate question you would want to ask yourself is, okay, well, where is the price at relative to just what I would call the overall trend line right here? And let me change that to green to represent support. And as long as you're answering the question that the price is above this trend line, now maybe you draw it a little bit differently, but I'm just trying to illustrate with the trend line that, yeah, over the past several days, the price has still been drifting in the upwards direction. Therefore, as long as you're answering any sort of questions that the price is still above that trend line, then overall things are totally fine. Now, if you're watching this, let's just say Sunday afternoon, and you're saying, well, wait a second, Clay, I'm watching this right now and the price is actually down below that level. Well, how far down below is it? The further down below that level, the more and more bearish that things seem to have become. But as of right now, I'd keep your eye on these levels, walk yourself through those questions, kind of just take an inventory check. Where's the price at relative to each level, and then kind of go from there. But overall, Bitcoin consolidating out. Can it get a breakup through the weekend? We'll see what happens. Next one, looking at Ethereum. And yeah, it's made a recovery, but this is not nearly as good of looking as what Bitcoin is. In fact, let me just zoom out here because, yes, and I'm doing this from an overarching standpoint, and I'm doing this very crudely because I'll zoom back in. But right now we have essentially some movement in the upwards direction, but when you consider where the price was not that long ago, and then you bring it down right here, and then for you golfers, if I put the golf hole up here, essentially what we have is a big picture bear pennant pattern. Now, just because something's a bearish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed the price is going to go downwards. But would it shock people? Would people just, whoa, I didn't see that coming? If the price were to come down here, break that, and then get more up downside pressure, I don't think anybody would be shocked by that action. Again, I'm not saying that's what's going to occur, but overall, that is the bigger picture context here on Ethereum. But overall, again, I'm going to walk through some levels and then give you some questions. So let's just say you're watching this video on Sunday, for example. So a question then one that you're going to want to ask yourself is, well, where is the price relative to this area up here? And in fact, let's just map it out so we can get the exact price level. Where is the price at relative to that level right there at about 1692? In any way, shape, or form, if you're answering the question that the price is above that level, that's a great sign. How great of a sign? Well, where's the price at relative to that area? If you're saying that the price is also above that pink line there, the 200 period moving average right now valued at 1795, that would just be telling you that that Ethereum is having itself a very, very powerful weekend. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, I'm watching this and it's Sunday afternoon, price is still down below that level, not the end of the world, but you would want to take a check and inventory kind of, okay, well, where's the price at relative to this area here? Again, like on Bitcoin, I'm just trying to convey the general drift of things. So maybe you disagree with that trend line. Maybe you draw it a little bit differently. No problem there. I'm just trying to, like I said, convey the fact that the price is drifting upwards. Now, if you're watching this Sunday and you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below there, same on Bitcoin. How bad is it? Well, how far down below is it? If the price is right here, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's not a good thing. But if you're watching this and the price is all the way down there, well, that would just be a full-blown breakdown of that trend line. So overall, though, it's trying its best. It's trying to consolidate out. So we'll have to see how the next few days all play out. Next one, XRP, and overall a lot like Bitcoin in the sense of it got beat down, it's made a big move up, and now it's consolidated out, and we have pretty much a big overall bull pennant pattern. But in the near term, the key levels that I would watch, especially from a resistance standpoint, is that 200 period moving average, that pink line right there, valued at $2.18. So again, we'll just stay with the theme of you're watching this Sunday afternoon. Question number one you need to ask yourself is, where's the price at relative to that pink line? If you're answering the question that the price is up above that area, that's a good sign. How good of a sign? Well, again, let common sense guide you. How far above that pink line is it? The further up above the price is, the better of a situation you'd be looking at with the next key. Just notice this. I think this is even more of an interesting level. Yeah, right there. So same general idea. If you're watching, so that's even better. If you're answering the question of the price above the pink line, that would also be putting it up above this trend line right here, which is a pretty significant level. So that would be great. Again, how great? Well, how far above is it? The further the price is above that red line there, that just would illustrate the bigger and further of a breakout that has been established. And then as far as if you're saying, well, Clay, no, I'm watching this Sunday afternoon, price is still down below that level. Next question will be, okay, well, where's the price at relative to this area down here at, what is that? The $1.90 mark. And I don't want to say $1.90 is your do or die area, but the threat there is if the price were to come down to $1.90 and then break down through it, it's starting to enter into kind of this no man's land of the territory. Now, it's not a total no man's land because you do still have some potential data points there and there that could provide support. But just in a general sense, you see how it kind of just opens up and there's really nothing until all the way back here. Now, that is also very far away. So I'd be very shocked if you're watching this Sunday afternoon and you're saying the price is down below that level. But nonetheless, just saying this is, kind of the key levels right here. But if you're saying, well, Clay, it's Sunday afternoon, the price is still down below here, but it is still up above there. Well, then at that point, just a broad kind of longer term consolidation continues with XRP. But it is, like I said, you got the bull pennant. And maybe this weekend is the period where the bull pennant gets the break to the upside. We'll see what happens. Next one here is Solana, and we are looking at something very, very similar to what we've been, but I think we have a little bit different of an attribute here just because this, I think a lot of people will be watching this very, very closely. This area right here at the 136 mark, going through the history of things, you can see that was a rejection, then you fast forward there, rejection, then you fast forward there, rejection, rejection. You're getting the idea. So by no means am I saying that's some great discovery on my part or special skill. The exact opposite. Got to think a lot of people are watching that level, wondering the same thing. So when you have a lot of people watching the same thing, wondering the same thing, as I mentioned earlier, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very dynamic movement. So no guarantees, but if the price were to come up here and break through there, is it valid? Is it plausible to think that that breakout could create additional buying pressure? Absolutely. So again, continuing on with the Sunday theme. If you're watching this on Sunday and you're saying, well, Clay, I'm watching this right now, and it's up above 136. That's a great move. That would be putting in the price, as you can see here, at an area that has not been at for multiple days. How great of a breakout? Once again, let common sense guide you. Well, how far above this area is it? The further up above it is, the more powerful of a breakout and more bullish of a situation. If you're saying, well, Clay, no, it's Sunday afternoon, it's still down below 136. First question to ask, okay, well, where's the price at relative to that purple line right there? 50 period moving average. As long as it's above there, that's a good sign. And again, this is not a do or die, but I'd say you certainly do want to see it stay above the pink line right there, which is the 200 period moving average. Right now, valid at, we'll call it 126. But even if the price were to come down here and break down below it, not the end of the world, but not the greatest thing either. Now, and I'm not saying this will be the case. I would be shocked if this were the case. Now, if you're saying, well, actually, Clay, the price is down below that low right there when I'm watching this Sunday afternoon, then yeah, something has gone severely wrong because that would imply the price not only come all the way down here, but then broken down through a key area of support. So I would be shocked if that were the case, but nonetheless, that would be kind of definitely an area where a red alert area, if you will. But yeah, right now the price is knocking on the door of 136. Can it get the break over the weekend? We'll see what happens. Next one here is Dogecoin, and maybe you see exactly where I'm probably going to be headed with this one. Two key levels that you're going to want to take an inventory check of. So once more, Sunday afternoon, you're watching this inventory check. You're going to watch or ask yourself about where's the price at relative to that purple line, because as of right now, as I speak, you can see right here, this has been a very stubborn area of resistance. And in fact, as I speak right now, the price is currently doing battle with it right there. So if you're asking, or if you're answering the question, well, actually, Clay, yeah, Sunday afternoon, the price is up above that level. That's a good step. Next big step, though, is the big brother of the 50-period moving average, that 200-period moving average. We're going back through the history of things. You can see that time and time again, especially right there, that has been very stubborn. That right there at the 0.167 mark. Now, if you're answering the question that the price is also above that pink line, well, it's telling you that Dogecoin is having itself a very, very bullish weekend, and the tide would seem to be turning. Now, if you're answering any of those questions that the price is still down below these areas, I would say, again, not a do or die level, but an area where I would consider pretty important is that area right there at 0.149. Because, again, is it putting it into totally no man's land? It's not. But breaking through there starts to kind of put it in this wider area. And, that doesn't necessarily ruin the current move, but it does start to make it look a whole lot shaky. So if you're answering the question Sunday afternoon that the price is actually now down below that level, again, common sense, let it guide you. Well, how far down below it is. If it's right there, okay, I mean, that's not great, but I wouldn't call it any sort of major red flag. But if you're saying the price is all the way down there, then yeah, something's gone wrong, and the bears have shown up in a big way. But overall, in my opinion, at least, the most interesting dynamic right now for Dogecoin headed into the weekend is all about these moving averages, and can the price over the weekend find some momentum to push up through there? We'll see what happens. So that wraps up the cryptos. If you enjoyed what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for this free live class I am offering next week. So if you enjoyed and you want to get signed up, there is a link down below if you're watching on the YouTube channel, or if you're watching at the site itself, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So would love to see you there. And, it is a truly live, so there's a live Q&A. There's a lot of interaction. So hopefully you can fit it into your schedule. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. And if you have not hit that like button and subscribed, please consider doing so.